Alright. Introduce yourself. What name you go by?
Artist name PNotez with a Z. You know, it's really the Z really silent. It's P-Note.
Alright, bet. How did you get your name? Like, what all went into that?
So really, my nickname is PJ. Like that was always my nickname, and so everybody called me P for short. And it would really be like HP Hellified P. Hellified is like my neighborhood. It ain't a gang or nothing like that. It's just my neighborhood, my family, what we go by. And so the reason that I go by P Notes though is because the Hellified, um, a lot of people big on power of the tongue, and that hell part, I don't want people to take that the wrong way. So the whole P Note thing, that's another spinoff of my nickname. You know what I'm saying? So P Note is what my guys them call me. It's kind of like a C note, like $100, $100. Kind of like C note about my bread or whatever. And then the notes is also it's like a double entendre on music and money. So the note, the P note is like a C note or the actual musical notes. So it's kind of like a bunch of names. We do a lot of names where we from. Everybody got a bunch of little nicknames. So
So what area is like the hellified area
so
that you come from?
it's south suburbs. One of the south suburbs. I'm still kind of in the mix, so I don't want to be too detailed, but it's definitely a south suburb. It's my grandma block actually. Anybody who know me, they know that block. They've been there. It's where we hooped at. It's where we ran around at. That's our spot. It's like a safe zone. We call it Hellified, but it's really a safe zone. It's really where everybody come. Ain't no problems. You ain't got to come over here and worry about no fighting, no shooting, no drama. It's just family.
Alright, bet. So how was it over there like in total, like what I'm saying, like when you was growing up, how was your upbringing? Like was there a lot of BS that you had to deal with? Was it a well off neighborhood? Was it like how was it growing up in your area?
So honestly, my neighborhood is more like one of those classic black movie neighborhoods. So it is a hood. You got all of the things you deal with in the hood, but it's one of those hoods that also got all of those classic good parts of the hood people don't talk about. We had the candy stores. We had it where somebody else grandma could slap you upside your head. You know what I'm saying? We respected all each other parents, and so as much as we had, couple of shootings, people fight here and we have all the things that neighborhoods got. You got your drug dealers and problem childs and all of that. That come with all of that, but for the most part, we still always had that camaraderie and love as a neighborhood too, and we all real patriotic about the neighborhood. We all have a respect for it. The people who have brought problems aren't from the neighborhood. We've had problems, going outside the neighborhood. So, it's real classic. I would say real classic black neighborhood where it's a mix of all your treacherous things, but you also got a lot of love and a lot of good memories and times.
Yeah, that's actually real because usually when I ask that question and stuff, what I'm saying, especially with rappers, they be trying to make it seem like they come from like the hardest block ever to be a block. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to like kind of overgas it.
Nah, man. I don't glorify none of that, man. I'm really. That's an even big part of who I am as a person, man. I ain't on all that. You cool with cussing?
Yeah, you
All
good.
right. I ain't with all that tough shit, man. I'm showing everybody you could live the same life that your favorite rapper, artist, actor, whoever you look up to. You could live that same life without having to do none of the extra shit. You know what I'm saying? You have all the women you want. You can even have a gun. You can have any car, any clothes, whatever it is, you glorify it without all that tough shit. So now I don't really, I've been around. I come from around it. Like I come from in the middle of it. But I never. I made the decision to not partake. I took the decision to take a different route, and take care of myself and, make my family as proud as I can,
All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's definitely real. So as far as so even with that, like, do you get a lot of flack from like people from the city since you from the suburbs?
Um,
Like, do they be really like? Cause I know it's like a big thing. Like if you from anything but you know what I'm saying, Chicago, certain people, ain't everybody, some people that, you know what I'm saying, they pick and choose from what I see, they pick and choose, like, I know, like, Juice WRLD, he from the suburbs, but the city claim him. I know, you got a few other rappers and artists and stuff that's really from the suburbs, but the city claim him, and then you got some, like, you know what I'm saying, if you got any flaw in your armor, they're like, oh yeah, nah, he really from the suburbs, you know what I'm saying, and they make a big deal of that, so do you be running into that too?
No, actually, me personally, I don't, and that's only because of how I carry myself. Like, I'm real. My personality is, my character is universal. Like, who I am right now is who I am around an old lady, a gangster, a Christian. You know, it don't matter for me. Like, I don't change who I am. I don't change even my slang, my posture, nothing. Like, I'm very much, you see what you get. You get what you see. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't nobody really worry about necessarily even where I'm from and what I'm about, because they see how I move. Like, I don't sit here and portray no city road, no city nothing, you know, or no suburb road, suburb nothing. You know, I just be me and I just do me. So nobody really worry too much about. I never get much of, you know, people ask you where you from just naturally, but I don't get no flack from it, you know. And then plus, if you really pay attention to me, my image, my music, everything, you don't really care enough about the whole city thing and what chink might be in my armor, because I lay everything out there already. You know what I'm saying? When you let it be known you not on all that, you get a lot of less, you know, flack from it.
Right, right.
They already don't expect it from you. So
Right. So you don't let where you from like define you or nothing like that.
no, and actually, you know, even to go with that, it kind of do define me. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I'm from is where I'm from, and I'm patriotic to that. You know, just like how Chief Keef love O Block, Herb love Essex, you know, Doug and them love 63rd, rest in peace, Doug. But like, just like everybody patriotic about where they from, I'm patriotic about where I'm from. That's where I grew up at. That's where my memories at. That's where my family at. You know what I'm saying? So for me to sit here and, because I'm from the burbs, and because in somebody else's eyes that ain't cool or that ain't whatever. Like, I was born where I was born at. I can't, you know, a lot of people, everybody's so big on banging where they from, but you won't do that because of somebody else's decision. You could have been born in Mississippi, Iowa. That ain't got nothing to do with you. So, you know, I read where I'm from, period.
Right, right. Yeah. What what made you start making music, and how long you been making music?
So a lot of people don't know this about me actually, but I've been writing music since I was like, since I started to write. Cause I always, my thing is, I'm not just into music. I just love words. Period. I always wrote stories, essays, poems. You know, I done been in spelling bees, all these type of things. I always love words and letters. That was just always my thing. So I've been writing music since I really could write. And then I actually started making music. I started making music in college actually, when I got in my first booth. When, you know, cause how it happened was I would just freestyle to people. We'd play around, and people didn't know I made music, so they would be real like shocked, like, "Hey, you actually could." And then it kind of came about because my cousin told everybody I could rap. He was the one that knew I could. And so once my cousin started spreading that word, people like, "Man, you need to go and get in the booth, just try it." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, whatever. So I get in the booth, and, you know, I dropped my first song in 2022, though. That was when I actually released my first song. But I recorded my first song. It was 2018, I believe. Got on my first mic.
Okay. So wait a minute, so why did it take you so long to like start actually dropping music? Like, was you just a little shy, or you had like a different persona that you had for yourself? Or, you know, being a rapper, it come with like a certain persona. Like, you got to be more aware of your character. You know what I'm saying? Your public perception when you're a rapper. So was you didn't want that to be like what people knew you for? What was going on with
Actually, a
that?
little bit of all of that. My very first problem was I was so young when I first started making music that my parents, I couldn't have them hear what I was saying in my song, you know, in my little raps or whatever. And I had it in my head. The reason that I never really just went with it and showed everybody that side of me, even though I did it so much, was because I was always kind of worried about what everybody would think. Because in my head, I knew I wasn't a gangster. I knew I wasn't, you know, quote unquote like that. So to me, for me to be saying, you know, certain things you say, it's not that you do it, but it's like your imagery. It's what you think about at the time. So I would have these things I would say, and then I'm like, man, I don't want nobody to think I'm trying to be something I'm not. But then it realized to me that you can be an artist and you can like portray them things, but it's more so speaking of what's around you than like that's how you living. So once I realized that I could still play with the words like I love to do, but I could still keep my image how it is. Then that's when I realized that this wasn't a bad thing for me to do, because I'm still able to, you know, I still have a career. You know, my jobs know that I make music and stuff, and they don't even discriminate me for it, because they can see, even though past what some of the things that I say that might be a little greasy, they can see my actual image. They can see you know, how I'm really coming with it, even on my vlogs and things like that. So I would say, you know, that was mostly what it was, just kind of hiding a part of myself. And now I feel very much more liberated and free now that I've let it out. You know, I feel like myself for real.